Renaissance and New Learning, the chain of being. The Tudors inherited the general concept of order from the medieval view of the world. They represented the universal order as a chain of being. This chain had two important characteristics. First, the various ranks in the chain were fixed. There was no mobility from one ring to the next. Second, the hierarchy was complete and closed. All forms of life had been created in the beginning, and there was no room for new life to appear. Anything that was outside the chain was considered to be chaos, madness, and evil. In the chain of being, the hierarchy of existence was the following: God as spirit, spiritual beings or angels, human beings, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the material, inanimate world. In the chain of being, the position of man was unique. He shared the body with lower creations, and the spirit with higher creations, and therefore he had the unique function of binding together all the levels of being. All of creation was bound together, which meant that whatever affected one thing affected other elements in the chain. This was called a correspondence. There were three parts of the chain corresponding to each other: macrocosm, the universe, nature, and the skies; microcosm, the human body as a map of the universe; the body politic, the kingdom, including its government and citizens. The whole universe was governed by divine will. Nature was God's instrument, the social hierarchy a product of nature. Therefore, subordination and unity were the natural rules for the state, which should be subject to a single head. Thus, the king or queen became the symbol of stability and unity. Humanism in a changing world. This system of beliefs was used to control a dynamic and changing world. The English Renaissance witnessed the discovery and exploration of new continents. The old order of ideas was seriously questioned by cultural influences such as the theories of Nicolaus Copernicus, 1473–1543. Copernicus created a new heliocentric model of the solar system in which the Earth no longer held the central place it had in the Ptolemaic system. The contrast between old and new ideas created a sense of doubt and ambiguity. There was a new interest in the individual as the maker of his own destiny, in the ideal of self-development through action and pragmatism. The greatest influence of the new literature was humanism. The term derives from the Latin Studia Humanitatis, a course of classical studies including grammar, poetry, rhetoric, history, and moral philosophy, which aimed at improving man through knowledge. At the beginning of the 16th century, the Dutch scholar Erasmus of Rotterdam, 1466–1536, had emphasized the importance of studying Greek and Latin for the Christian student. The New Learning, as humanism was also called in England, was established in grammar schools all over the country and in the two universities of Oxford and Cambridge. Humanism encouraged confidence in the power of human reason to interpret man and nature, in the value of literature as an instrument of reason, in the dignity of modern English as a literary medium. In fact, English humanists used English instead of Latin in their writings, improving its vocabulary and syntax. The English Renaissance. The English Renaissance developed later than its European equivalents and had its own distinctive features. If on one hand, the influence of Italy was immense in every sphere, from literature to fashion, on the other hand, England tried to get free from this foreign force that was identified with Rome and the papacy. The first thing to characterize the movement was its strong Protestant and, in some aspects, Puritan basis, influenced by the Reformation. The English literature of the period lacked the pagan serenity of the Italian Renaissance and was less committed to the visual arts. This explains the baroque exuberance of the powerful speeches of Marlowe's and Shakespeare's plays or in Donne's poetry.